What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Champaign Papis Podcast. As always, I'm your boy, Joe Longo.
I'm Marco Guzman, and as always, we're starting off with football. And today, as always, you know, for the NFL Pick'ems, we got the boy.
The kid.
Give the kid. What's up, baby?
Let's get it, man.
Hey, you gotta take that hat off. I already told you. Told him.
Yeah, I like it crowded.
Bro, how are you gonna wear a Dodgers hat?
The Astros are gonna beat the Braves.
How are you gonna wear a Dodgers hat, but root for the Astros? Nope, that's disgraceful.
How are you gonna not root for the Astros when the Braves just dicked us?
Well, I'd rather Jock Peterson's on the Braves, and I'd rather see him get another ring. That's my guy. So rooting for the Braves.
My entire opinion is fuck Houston.
Fuck Houston. Thank you.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying to win.
What?
Well,
hey, that's why you're not gonna win the Turkey Bowl.
That's why we're gonna cheat.
oh.
Hey, you guys can do whatever you want. You're still gonna take that L.
All right, well, the Turkey Bowl is a couple weeks away. What's not a couple weeks away is this week's football.
Ooh, this week of football.
We actually had a little bit of an off week by our standards. Me and Marco won the week, going 9-4. Gibby went 8-5. He had a bunch of those against the grains, and it came down to Monday night. New Orleans pulled through.
Yep.
So the percentages on the season, everyone. Marco's at 75%. Good guy to listen to. I'm at 71.6. Gibbs in last place, but I don't think he'll be mad. He's at 69%.
Ah, that's hot. Yeah, we know you love that shit.
So to continue our hot streak, we go into Thursday night football. You get the undefeated Arizona Cardinals.
English.
And this would be my pick, but I have to preface it by saying Devontae's most likely looking like he's going to be out. Allen Lazard's out. You got a lot of missing pieces from that offense and a defense that's already struggling. Green Bay, Arizona, who are you guys going with?
Gibby, start.
Man, this is a hard one. I've gone like back and forth and shit.
Right.
KJ Watt is out as well.
JJ Watt is out.
Jajarius is out.
Jajarius Watson.
Jordan. Man. How confident was I yesterday with the Packers? I want the Packers, but...
Here's the thing. Gibby was about to take a bet on the Packers, but once I brought up the Devontae Allen Lazard thing, he kind of went, ah. I mean, MVS is still out.
What I will say is this. If the Cardinals aren't going to stay undefeated forever, and if there is one team that can hand them their first L on some Thursday night football shit, it's fair. The Green Bay fucking Packers.
That's fair.
So you know what? I'm going with Green Bay. I'm rooting for my guys.
That doesn't shock me.
But I did debate it for a while because I was like, honestly, with Devontae out, I was like, oof. But I think Aaron Jones is going to pick up the work.
All right, Gib, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to make me go against the grain or Marco? Because I'm going with the Cardinals.
Ooh.
You're going against the grain.
You're going Green Bay?
I'm going Green Bay.
Let's fucking go. What a guy.
Here's the thing that I like this because usually I'm the guy who goes with the they need to win or they need to lose mentality. So I'm glad it's rubbing off on you guys a little bit. And if I'm wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. But
yeah, honestly, if I'm wrong for this game, I can't complain. We're out with our main guy.
Let's go to Sunday 12 o'clock games. We got some ugly ones that we're going to knock out, not really cover too much. Buffalo, Miami.
Buffalo,
Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia, I'm the Don, baby. We're going to go to Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I believe Nick Chubb is back.
Cleveland. Actually,
Go Browns.
Yeah. All right.
We're going unanimous on Cleveland. I think Pittsburgh's not the worst team in the NFL, but they're down there.
Mm-hmm. That's terrible.
We're going to skip this one because it's going to be a fun pick. Cincinnati Jets.
Jamar Chase.
Joe Burrow.
Jamar Chase.
Rams Houston.
LA.
Let me just write. I'm sorry that I have to write these down, but I like to do it that way. Yeah. All right, these are the more fun ones. We're going to start with Carolina, Atlanta. I'm going last.
You're going first.
Okay, go Falcons.
I agree. ATL.
Okay. Gibby, what did I tell you on the mic? I'm never picking Carolina again.
Yeah, you did. I was there. I remember that.
I'm never picking them again. I'm going Falcons. So right now we have all unanimous except
long
for
ass
Arizona.
fingers, boy. Looking on long ass fingers.
This is the fun one. Philly, Detroit.
Ooh, I don't even have any drink in this. I'm just.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Okay, so Gibby's going Philly.
It's ugly.
It is ugly, and you know what? Sticking with the theme of the week, my very first pick, I think if the Detroit Lions are going to get a win, they're going to get it against the Eagles. Let's go Detroit.
I had a feeling in my balls that Detroit was about to beat the Rams. And we were sitting on the couch Sunday. Mm-hmm. I looked you in the eyes and I said, I want to pick Detroit next week. Who are they playing? And then
Eagles, yep.
The Red Zone nicely showed me they were playing the Eagles. And I was like, yep, I'm going with Detroit. So I had this pick since Sunday.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm surprised you joined me.
The Detroit Lions have been playing good football. Like they've been playing good. It's like, honestly, it's like your situation with fantasy, Gib. Like, you've just had to play tough opponents.
And Philly is me this week.
Yeah. I went from. Well, I'm still the Lions. I'm gonna be on my Colts shit.
Yeah, you're on your Colts shit. Yeah.
Speaking of the Colts, we got Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts. This is one that I said we can kind of cover a little bit because Indy's been playing solid ball.
Great football. I mean, I picked them to beat the 49ers. For
that was an ugly game, and they made it less ugly for them than it was for the Niners. Jonathan Taylor has been electric.
Bro, Jonathan Taylor, you have Michael Pittman, you have Zach Pascal, and he's a contributor. And then once T.Y. Hilton is fully back, that team has weapons. I'm not saying Carson Wentz is the greatest quarterback. I don't think he could lead the team to like a Super Bowl. He might, he could get them a playoff spot though. So, but I'm going against them. I'm picking Tennessee.
Gilbert.
Big Bird. Little Bird.
Man.
Little Bird.
Here, I'll add
What
some.
are they
They're playing the Colts, Tennessee Colts.
I think Derrick Henry's gonna have a big week. So I'm going Titans.
So I don't want him to have a big week. I'm playing James in fantasy, but he might because Elijah Mitchell had like 100 rushing yards in the first half last week against the Colts. Derrick Henry is a lot better than Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, so that worries me, but
Derrick Henry's going to go for 300 yards.
Part of me wanted to use the same logic that you've been using today and pick the Colts because I was like, look, Tennessee just beat the two hottest teams in the NFL. Yeah. Not two hottest because Kansas City's not hot, but two very good teams in the NFL. Yeah. There are three. They beat the Bills, who are the best at the time, and then the Chiefs. So like, I want them to have a cool down game, but I don't think it happens against the Colts.
Yeah, I don't think it happens.
So we're actually going to go to my 12 o'clock game, and again, I'm trying not for all these to be the Bears, but they just happen to be because they put themselves in like they could win, they could lose situations.
I feel like if anything, the Tennessee Indy game should have been the star for this 12.
It was. But we cover it the most, and it's going to be San Francisco versus the Bears in a game that I think ends 10-3.
Yeah, it's gonna be an ugly game. It's gonna be like the Seahawks game, Seahawks-Saints game.
Mm-hmm. So who are you guys going with for that one? Because I have my pick, but I don't want to show you just yet. I'm low-key trying to get both of their defense on my fantasy. I already have the Bears.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Okay. You picking your NFC North rival, or are you going with the Niners?
I think I'm gonna pick the Bears this time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Bears are. I think the Bears are poised to get a good dub against a 49ers team that honestly just has not lived up to what we expected them to be. Like they've been playing pretty shitty.
I'm going with the Bears as well. So a surprise unanimous Bears pick after they scored 3 points. My thing is that they tend to rebound against shittier teams.
Yeah.
They're back home in Chicago. I like the odds of that.
Hey, Deebo Samuel.
Fuck Deebo Samuel. He's going to have like 2 catches this week because Jalen Johnson's
Deebo Samuel's always
going to lock him, bro. Jalen Johnson's on his ass. Dude, he had fucking... Well, Mike Evans cooked him.
I was about to say, he just got cooked by Mike Evans last week.
Mike Evans is a lot better than Deebo Samuel.
Hey,
Deebo Samuel is up there now, though.
Sure.
We made a list. We did.
He's above Mike Williams. So, we're going to go to the 3 o'clock games. Gibbs kind of just hanging out right now, so I want to get him started with this one. Me and him were talking about this game a little bit last night. Your Seahawks versus Trevor Lawrence's Jags, Gib. Who are you going with?
Man. Like, I could see Trevor Lawrence and them beating him. Geno Smith, man, what the hell is he doing? He sucks. I'm going to go with the Hawks, though.
He's going Seattle.
I want to go last. I want you to go next.
Okay, so this one I've been going back and forth on. Mm-hmm. And Jacksonville's coming off a win in a bye week, I believe.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're a good team at all. But Geno Smith, man, hasn't looked good. But I think he's also played two very stout defenses. I mean, he played Pittsburgh and New Orleans. And he kept them in the game. So, personally, I'm going with the Hawks as well. I think Geno's bound to grab one.
It's going to be unanimous then because I was going to go for the Hawks as well.
I thought you were going to pick Jacksonville. So
I was thinking about it for one reason only. And this is going to decide who wins that game. James Robinson.
Okay.
If James Robinson delivers for the Jags, they win. But if Seattle can somehow stop James Robinson, they'll come out with the dub.
So we just talked about an ugly-ass game with the Bears and San Fran. We just talked about an ugly-ass game with Seattle and Jacksonville. We're going to get one more in before we have to cut and do the little edit with it. Washington versus Denver.
I'm going Washington.
I'm going Washington football team.
God damn it. Can we stop going unanimous? All my risky picks you guys are taking this week.
Yeah, I just think, we're on the same page with you.
I feel that. This one's a quick one. Actually, we can get out the way before we leave. New Orleans, Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Gib, I need confirmation, brother.
Hey, man.
Oh my God.
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
I was going to say, is this going to be Gibby's lock of the week? But if you do want to hear Gibby's lock of the week, stay tuned for the next segment of this episode. We'll be right back.
We're getting to it.
Alright, we're back.
We are back, and we got 3 games to go, and then a little fantasy talk. Gib, are you sticking around for fantasy this week, or are you
heading out like a bitch?
I'm down.
Okay. So he's just our football guy. Now let's just combine these 2 segments because I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Alright, bet. I'm done with that. I'm cool with that.
So the last 3 o'clock game, I made it the game of the week, and I think Fox is going to do the same. You got the New England Patriots, who just dropped 54 on the Jets. Sorry to anybody who started the Jets defense in fantasy. I hope that you weren't close enough to win, and then they ruined it for you, but we're going to get to that. You got the New England Patriots, Los Angeles Chargers.
Stop it. That's easy. Chargers.
Wow, he said easy.
That's Chargers.
Go with LA as well.
They were playing the Jets.
I understand that. I don't like how you said it was easy, though.
I think
Dallas and Tampa Bay had to work their asses off, and I think both of them might edge out the Chargers when they play.
Didn't the Tampa Bay Bucks beat them by 20?
Who? The Patriots?
Yeah.
No, it was closer than that. I mean, maybe at the end they pulled away, but it was a tight game the entire time.
I don't remember exactly specifically.
They beat the Bears by 30.
Yeah,
But the New England game, no, Bill Belichick was
by 35.
Okay, so I'm going with the Chargers because they're coming off a bye week and a bad loss.
Yeah.
But if that wasn't the situation, I might have gone New England.
I don't see it. So I think the Patriots defense is playing pretty well, and I think the offense behind Mac Jones has been picking up. Yeah. I don't think they can beat the Chargers.
Chargers are playing good, but I mean they showed their weakness, and the thing about Bill Belichick is that
But who are they playing?
Listen, once a good team loses, Bill Belichick is able to replicate that when they play that team. So what I'm saying is they're probably going to do a lot of what Baltimore did to whoop their ass, and that's why they're going to have a tough time because it's kind of like what's happening with Mahomes this year. Once Tampa Bay showed the NFL how to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, everyone's kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
And it's the same scheme every single game. If you watch the schemes defenses are running against Patrick Mahomes, even in the games they've won against like Washington and all that.
Yeah.
They are all running this 4-man front, just try to get pressure on Mahomes, play cover 2 and don't let Tyreek Hill.
But to be fair, that team has a lot of issues right now.
Yeah, it's true, but a lot of it stems from these defense exposing them.
That's true. Very true.
Before, it was like, eventually they'll drop down to man and Tyreek Hill gets a 70-yard touchdown that sparks them back in. Now he can't do that because no one breaks cover 2 against them.
Yeah, that is true.
I want to pick New England. I'm not going to. Saying that because
I thought you were going to pick New England.
I've had a couple times where I've called those crazy upsets and I didn't actually pick it. I just said like Cincinnati being Pittsburgh. I was like, I want to go Cincinnati here, but Gibby, do you know what time it is, brother?
Sure.
It's time we talk Sunday Night Football, and it's time we get into the pick of the week.
Ooh.
So this week, Marco, you're going to go first because I think I know your answer. I think us two are going to be relatively quick. Dallas, Minnesota. Minnesota!
Go boys.
Minnesota!
That's easy.
So I'm also going to go with Dallas. I think they are a fire-ass team this year. I think Trevon Diggs is going to be...
Ooh, Trevon Diggs going to get another pick?
Every week.
That's crazy.
Every week until he's out. Remember when DeMarco Murray was getting 100 yards every week?
Yeah.
This is the new Cowboy streak. So.
Facts. That's a good comparison.
The thing about this game that scares me is that I feel like Dallas and Minnesota always have some crazy shit happen in their games.
I can see that too. The thing is,
every time they play, it's usually a 3:00 game. It's always on some like 38-35 Adam Thielen toe tap with 12 seconds left shit.
Minnesota Miracle type shit.
Well, that was the same.
But that's what
That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, that shit types happens. So I'm gonna go with Dallas. So I think this is the year they put it all together. Gib, with the pick of the week, take it away.
He's picking the boys. Not surprised.
So the new thing that we're doing, go ahead, Gib.
Lock of the week, baby.
That's the lock of the week. When you first did it, it was total surprise, so you caught us off guard. Mm-hmm. Last week, you told me the team you were picking. Now you're just telling me the game that you're going to pick so I can like preview it before you make your pick. When you sent me Dallas, Minnesota, I knew your pick already.
Yes, sir. Go boys.
I was going to say, there's no way Gib goes against... You're a pseudo Cowboys fan. You're a Cowboys fan. Come on.
When the Cowboys do good, Gib will ride with them, but he's not going to stick around and defend them when they're playing like shit.
That's true.
Which I actually like. To me, that's more of what a real fan is. Like when the Bears play like shit, like this past weekend, it was embarrassing. And if you can't say that about your team, you don't like them enough.
Well, no, yeah, that's true. You have to be able to like hold your team accountable.
You have to be able to do both though, because there's some people who even on wins, they're like, oh, but that old line is still allowing 5 sacks. It's like, yeah, you got to be nitpicky, but it's like enjoy the win.
Yeah.
Speaking of enjoying the win, Kansas City, New York Giants.
Oof.
Kansas City's last win was against the Washington football team. New York Giants surprised us last week. They beat Atlanta.
I was going to say, the New York
Was it
Giants.
Atlanta? Carolina.
That's Carolina.
They beat Carolina.
Carolina.
They're what made me give up on the Carolina Panthers. Oh, I do want to say, we called the Carolina and Denver being fake good teams from day one, though.
Yeah, we did say that. Well, you guys agreed on that more than I did originally. I was thinking, I thought the way
we picked 3 teams. I'll give the Raiders. They've done better than I was going to give them credit
Yeah, so
for.
I think the Raiders. But the thing is, like, the Carolina Panthers, they lost Christian McCaffrey, and I think that has hurt them a lot. I think if Christian McCaffrey's still on the team, I'm not going to say they'd be in a better position, but maybe. I don't know. Like, there's a possibility.
I get you.
But he's not.
So, I'm personally going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they fuck them up. It's Monday night. Mahomes is, like, tweeting about it now. He's like, oh, let's get ready. Like, he's tweeting like he's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So anytime a guy starts doing that, then how you know he's trying to get into a different mindset. And I don't think the Giants are good enough in the first place to beat them. Plus, they're on this whole down stretch thing.
I was going to say that, but...
I'm going Kansas City.
I remember last week, after the Kansas City loss, I was so disappointed. I was like, just how you said you're not picking the Carolina Panthers again?
Tennessee.
I said, I'm not going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs again until they get their shit together on defense.
Okay, that's fair.
And the Giants are coming off a big win.
The New York Football Giants.
I'm going with Kansas City.
Yeah, I hope you would.
It's just like...
I thought you said Giants.
Nah, I was just giving the Giants their credit because they came off a big win. But honestly, on some bullshit, I could definitely see the Giants winning.
Yeah.
On some bullshit. Just like,
for me, it's Monday night. If it was a 12 o'clock game, maybe it's Monday night. Gib? He's the one who might pick the Giants, so I'm actually curious.
Yeah, facts. I think...
I just gave you an answer.
I'm going to say Kansas. I want to say the Giants, but I think Kansas will pull away barely, though.
Okay, so
I think it's going to be a close game.
You're doing what I'm doing for the whole New England Chargers thing.
Yeah, it'll be New York Giants plus 6.5.
Okay, I like that.
That's a good pick.
So here's the weird thing that I've noticed about some of these pick'ems is that, like, first off, I am now 5-6 weeks in a row getting all the 3 o'clock games right. So if you want to do a parlay, go bet on the Chargers, Seattle, Washington football team, and the Buccaneers.
I mean, we
all picked them. We all picked them.
Coincidentally, but you are undefeated in 3-0 games.
3 o'clock games is my shit.
Games.
What I was gonna say is that I make some of these pick'ems like I go against the heart. So it's like at the end of the day, it's still the team I think that's gonna win on Sunday. Like I still think the Chargers are gonna win. But you bet your ass while I'm watching that game, every ounce of me wants New England to win.
Yeah. Well, see, for me, the way I do these pick'ems is that, like, if I were to bet, I would pick the teams that I'm picking. Their money line, not the spreads, but their money lines.
Yeah.
Because, like, the spread is different. Like that New York Giants plus 6.5, I might pick that up instead, right? But I'm doing it that way, where like whatever team I pick, I would bet on. Not all the game, but I wouldn't bet on every game.
I might bet on games this week just because of how much consistency we have in the picks. Like, if we're all shooting around 70% and we're all picking the same team this time, gives me a good feeling.
That does give you a good feeling.
What's our together and against the grain? Like, how's that working this week?
Okay, so we all picked Atlanta over Carolina, Buffalo over Miami, Chicago over San Francisco, Cleveland over Pittsburgh, Tennessee over Indy, Cincy over the Jets, Rams over Houston, Chargers, Seattle, Washington football team, Tampa in the 3 o'clock slot, Dallas Sunday night, Kansas City Monday night.
Damn, so there are only two.
There's only 2 against the grains. Marco didn't pick a single one. He agreed with someone on every one of his picks.
That's crazy.
Thursday night, which is when this is airing, so tonight, by the time the first of y'all are seeing this, I have Arizona while y'all went with Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go, baby.
12 o'clock games, we decided to go with the Detroit Lions while Gibby said Fly, Eagles, Fly. So, Philadelphia and Arizona, those are your 2 against the grain picks. Those are the ones that are going to decide if we can surpass Marco or fall further behind him. He's 3 ahead of me, and I'm 2 ahead of Gibby.
Well, regardless of that, like I would still be ahead.
This is true, but
like,
you start chipping away. So now he's going with strategy of just lame picks.
Nah, everything I pick here, I'm picking for real. I ain't on that bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't do anything where it's like we change the rules to make you pick against a team you would normally pick. Like, this is just straight up, if you were at the fucking game, you had to put $20 on one of these teams to win. Who were you doing? That's how we treat it.
But that doesn't go to say that I wouldn't bet on all these games. There are some games I'm
no,
like,
God, no. God, no. It's like if you had to bet on the game, who were you picking? Because, the Arizona-Green Bay game, do not bet on either one of those money lines. I recommend
I wouldn't bet on that game.
I recommend that, personally. So, speaking of betting, we have a $25 bet to win $225 by winning our fantasy league. We're running low on time, so we're just going to break them into 2 segments. There was no need, but we're going to keep Gibby around because Gibby wanted to stick around. Plus, we got some good coverage coming up for you guys.
Yeah, so let's go right into fantasy football. So we'll be right back and be ready. We're going to give you some great fantasy advice right now, too.
Yeah, good fantasy advice this week. So we go from real football to the fantasy variety.
To the fantasy version.
And I'm usually a lot more sad after a loss. But if you guys watched last week's podcast, you knew that it was a weird week. You knew I was playing Gibby, who, as much as I want to beat his ass, he doesn't talk as much shit as a lot of the other guys in our league. Doesn't feel as bad, at least. If you guys were watching the other Pick'em segment, I make fun of the Jets for giving up a lot of points. So I lost to Gibby by, I believe, like 8 or 9. I started DJ Dallas for some dumb reason, so he got 0.
Yeah.
But the story of the week was that the New York Jets defense got -11, which essentially gave Gibb the win because it held me back from actually getting the amount of points my guys scored.
Yeah, Gibbs' best players this week is definitely the New York Jets defense for Joe.
So Aaron Jones didn't do what I wanted him to do, which hurt. DJ Dallas didn't do anything, which hurt.
That sucked.
But the Jets put the knife in my stomach, did the little triangle thing that samurais do, and killed.
But like you said at first too, like it's a good thing that like the reason you lost is this was a very off week.
Yeah,
like
and I played it very stupid.
You didn't have most of your team, most of your starters. The pickups that were put in to replace those starters just didn't work out the way you wanted them to.
I will say I wanted to start Brandon Bolden, but I didn't just because I thought it was too smart of a play that it wasn't going to work.
I don't know. I mean, any running back would have obviously clearly would have.
Well, he had 15 or like 17. He was on the Patriots. They scored 54. So, Gibby, as a man who has struggled, you play a guy who just had a terrible week, get a great win even though you put up the lowest amount of points you put up all season.
You got to win. You got to dub, baby.
How are you feeling moving forward, especially as all of us know you're looking at the weakest part of your schedule as we speak?
Yeah, so my percentage went from 7% to making the playoffs to 20.
Yeah, you did jump a lot.
Before I got the dub, I'm up. I think I go on a little run right now to gauge how I'm feeling.
I mean, it's very possible.
I will say this right now. Marco had to deal with it last week, still got to win, but you have to play Cooper Kupp this week. How are you feeling about this week specifically?
This week specifically, I think, man, his matchups are decent. But I don't know. I think he has better matchups, but I don't know. I think my team will go off. I think I win by at least 10.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's fair. Like, I got scared because I played Cooper Kupp last week in Carlos's team, and once Cooper Kupp started putting up points, I was like, dude, stop. I thought he was gonna break 40, damn near. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you that there is a way to still win because I ended up beating Carlos, even though he had Khalil Herbert went off too.
Yeah, I gave him Khalil Herbert. I'm glad about that one. I promised him he was going to get points. And that boy gets the first 100 rushing yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season.
Mm-hmm.
Marco, let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question, man.
In the last 3 weeks, who's the top 3 rushers in the NFL?
Oof. I actually don't know.
Number 1, Derrick Henry. Number 2, Jonathan Taylor. Number 3, Khalil Herbert.
Really?
How crazy is that? Bears.
That's actually pretty crazy. It should be David Montgomery, and it will be David Montgomery when he's back. He'll be up there.
This is true. Do you know when he's coming back? I need to
He said it said 3 to 5 weeks. This week that's upcoming, this is his third. Damn, this is his third week. So he's supposed to.
Got it. You got it all.
He's supposed to come around within this time frame, relatively. Now, will he? I don't know. And what fucks me this week too is Devontae might not play.
Yes, I was just about to ask you.
Done.
This is one of the first weeks that I have seen you projected to lose at least by more than like 1 or 2 points. Because like when you and James played, I think it was like even. You might have been lower, but like you're projected to lose by 13 right now. Devontae Adams being out would be the thumb in your asshole, make it very hard to win. Because that even hurts Aaron Rodgers' day.
Yeah.
Edmonds and Gaskin aren't essentially the strongest, but he has Javonte Williams too. It's a weird matchup for you guys, and I don't know who I would pick because I trust your team more, but he's got a better roster as of right now starting.
Yeah. I see. The thing is, it's weird because, like you said, so Devontae Adams being out definitely hurts me because now he joins that list of George Kittle and David Montgomery. Obviously, they're still out. I can't use T.Y. Hilton. Justin Tucker, my kicker's out, which, I mean, that's not bad, but like, it's Justin Tucker. He's going to get you points. And, I mean, my running back situation, so I have Chase Edmonds, Myles Gaskin, which is not the best. No. Like, that's not the best by any means, right?
So Giblets is either a 140-point team or an 80-point team.
See, so that's the thing. Like, it depends on whether Tom Brady decides he wants to throw touchdown passes to Mike Evans or not.
And I think against New Orleans, Marshawn Lattimore, I'm going to keep it right now, if they put him on Evans as they do, like sometimes they put him on Godwin, sometimes they put him on Evans. Yeah. If he goes on Evans, Evans will not have a point.
Damn, like that?
There's been 4 or 5 times Mike Evans has scored 0 in his career, and all of them are against Marshawn Lattimore.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that is true. I think I've seen that stat on ESPN before. Like
Adrian Avila's one time traded me Mike Evans because he had 0 points, and I wasn't worried because I'm like, no, Marshawn just fucks him up. Like, yeah. It is what it is.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be a weird week, but what I will say, my division, the West Division, is better than your division.
Yes, by a lot.
Like, I think this last week,
with that.
Everybody in my division won except for James.
Except for James.
Right?
Which, you know what? That pisses me off because he lost to the guy who's number 1 in my division. And me losing this week, I'm still second place in my division with a 1-game lead.
Yeah, but now you're 2 games back.
But now I'm 2 games back of the first place, and that's what hurts a little bit. But I think Miguel just traded for Jonathan Taylor. That was a crazy trade.
Yeah.
So I don't know how weak his team's going to be and how much of a chance I have of coming back.
He gave up a lot low-key, but he still has a great fucking team.
No, yeah, he has a really good team. Good.
I think we do another sweep besides James again.
Yes. So I appreciate you saying that because James is playing me. Mm-hmm. And he's not playing my Week 7 team. Yeah. He's playing my Week 8 team.
Yeah.
And right now we're projected to go fucking at it. 127.7 to 128.1. The only thing I'm really scared about is Derrick Henry against Indy. I think everyone else is going to do their average at best. I mean, Herbert against New England, that's not a go-off game. Leonard Fournette against New Orleans. New Orleans has a great run defense. Yeah. And I got some easier matchups. I got Josh Allen against Miami. Aaron Jones is going to be a fucking workhorse this week with Devontae out.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at a highest score of the week.
You could. I could definitely see that.
Because I think Aaron Jones is finally going to get his 27. Eckler's going to get a lot because New England has a tougher time stopping the run than they do the pass. And he's coming off a bye week and a week where he struggled. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about my team. I think they're going to go off again. All I'm worried about is Derrick Henry because that man can do a lot of damage on his own. But he did a lot of damage last week and scored half of James's points. So you have to have a full team in fantasy. You can't just
you have to have a full team to win.
You can't just have a couple guys win it for you.
I was somehow able to pull that off last week, but pulling it off 2 weeks in a row, especially against this week I'm facing a better team. I'm gonna have to GM my ass off if I want to. Just like last week, I'm gonna have to GM my ass off to fucking win this week.
So it's crazy for me because you have a pretty good team and you've had some pretty good matchups, and especially when you play Daniel Payan, who I don't think is one of the stronger teams in our league. It's weird for me to say that I think you have the weakest chance of winning of us three this week,
agree.
But I think all three of us get a win. I truly do. Like this last week, I could have not last week, but a couple weeks ago, I could have said it. But this week, I actually mean it. Like, I think you got the better matchup. I think Mike Evans doesn't have that great. Like, look at his stats. He has a bunch of touchdowns one game, then nothing.
But then look at who else he has. He has Tom Brady still. He has Alvin Kamara still. He has Justin Jefferson.
That one, actually, the Jefferson Kamara are the two that you got to worry about. Because I think Brady's going to have an average.
I don't know. See, the thing is, it could go either way.
It could.
Like, this matchup is very just.
Because New Orleans' thing is defense. But the problem with them is that they're not going to be on the field long enough to slow down Brady if they're constantly getting the ball back.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I think it's a big fantasy week, but let's give these people some sort of advice.
Give them what's the advice of the week, Gib? For fantasy.
Damn.
You know what? I'll start with mine, actually. Yeah, you guys can get some time to think because we kind of did just throw Gibby on the spot.
Yeah, that is true.
When you're looking at the waiver wire, if there is a guy, especially in a 12-man league, at least in our league, because I've heard that other leagues don't have as crazy of a waiver wire attack as we do.
Yeah.
Ours is barren. But if you find a guy at this point in the season who averages 10 points.
At least, yeah.
Open up their game log and make sure they only haven't played a game or two, by the way.
Yeah.
But if they're averaging about 10 games and they played in all or the majority of the games, they're worth having on your squad.
Yes.
So a guy like Christian Kirk, he's sometimes he drops 20, sometimes he drops 9, sometimes he drops 6, sometimes he drops 17. Those guys are worth having because they're going to be better than those guys that you need a good matchup against.
Yes.
So at a certain point, you have to, and another thing with the waiver wire is look forward and don't just pick up guys who are going to have a big week. Like, obviously, you need that sometimes. But my thing is that I picked up Rashad Bateman before anybody could even attack, and I had to worry about losing him.
Yeah.
I picked up Jeff Wilson, threw him straight on the IR because he's one of the guys that can come back and be a starter on my team. It's worth taking those risks with those bottom two bench spots in your IR.
But what I will say is I'll kind of piggyback off of that, and I'll say, like, definitely those pieces, especially every week, there's always, like, one or two people on the waiver wire who are going to go fucking off. If you can somehow get one of them, which you might not always do, but if you can find somebody in that kind of range that they're averaging at least 10 points, pick them up, because even then you could use them for trades. Like, they offer trade value for that week, for that specific week, because they're not always going to have, like, they're not always going to have a good matchup. That's what waiver wire players are like. But it is crazy because our league is a lot different.
I was going to say our league's very different because my boss this morning was talking about her fantasy team. And she's like, ooh, let me look at the waiver wire. She's like, do I pick up Cole Beasley? I'm like, Cole Beasley's on your waiver wire? What? Yeah. Like, I understand maybe not being in starting lineup. You have a weird situation where you need to start him, but
flex.
Him on a waiver wire? If I saw those kind of names?
Yeah, I'd be like, need him on the team.
Hey, I got advice.
Yes.
Don't pick up Naheem Hines or Dallas, or what's his name?
DJ Dallas.
Don't pick him up.
So, yeah, that's what I was going to get to, is that some guys like Naheem Hines can start averaging around 10, which is why I say look at the game log. Because guys like him put up 34 one week and then 2 for the next 3.
Yeah.
So it's okay if they have a week or two where they struggle. That's bound to happen in the NFL, especially when they're not a main guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick it up, though, because I don't
but
like that.
But never... Okay, no, what I meant, like Christian Kirk. He's a guy that's getting like 12, 12, 6, 21, 12, you know, like...
But it's more consistent.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is that look for that consistency.
Yeah, okay.
But the first thing, like if you start looking at a guy and he's averaging like 4.7, 6.2...
Yeah.
Not worth it. Not worth it. At all.
So, any closing comments for the people before we close up this fantasy segment, Gib?
Just bet on me all the rest of the day.